Hello everybody and welcome to Lakeburg. Today we're going to start playing Lakeburg Legacies. This is a new game developed by Ishtar Games. It actually comes out tomorrow, but the reason you're able to see it today is because Far and Over at Player 2 sent me a key for the game a little early. Thank you very much. I was really excited to get the chance to play this game because I actually played the demo for Lakeburg Legacies earlier this year. I think it was during the Steam Next Fest. I tried out a bunch of different demos that looked interesting, including this one, and I really fell in love with it. I've already played it a little bit just so I can kind of learn the ropes, but I'm here today to show you around. So let's get started with a new game. I think we're going to play a short game for this series, just 30 years, which will still take, a few hours. But you can play, 75 or 100 years, depending on how long you want things to go. We'll just do a short one, and we'll leave the game style as regular. Lakeburg Legacies is a game about managing a little country village as it grows, managing its resources, putting people to work so they can fulfill their own needs. It also really focuses on your citizens themselves and the relationships they have with each other. So we're going to be spending a lot of time setting people up on dates, getting married. Maybe they'll have kids. Maybe they'll cheat on their spouse. Maybe they'll have an affair. Maybe they'll fight. Who knows what might happen. We're going to try and balance all those things to make this a successful village. Let's get this party started. All right, here we go. Welcome to Lakeburg again. Here's the area where our village will be. But you can see that all we have right now is a lumberjack's lodge. And over time, we'll slowly build more buildings here as our village grows. We also are starting with only one citizen, and that is Meggie. Meggie McDonald. She's 21 years old. She's got no job. And here's the basics. We have our 30 years, going to year 30, to get as much prestige as possible. And we get prestige from some advanced buildings. We also get it from having couples that are in love, successful families. So if our villagers are in good relationships, they're having a good time, we can build some nice buildings, pump up that prestige by the end. That's how we win. But who knows what might happen in those 30 years. Along the top here, all these different pictures are the village's resources. Right now we have nothing. We're going to start by getting some wood with the Lumberjack's Lodge, and we'll slowly expand into all this other stuff. Now, what I think is cool about this game is that every person, every villager you have, has a ton of generated statistics. Let's open up Meggie here and take a look. Look at all this information. I can't even keep it all straight yet. So don't worry about keeping it straight yourself. You don't have to. But what can we see? If she had a job, it would be up here. Her aspiration is food. She wants to feed people, maybe have like a cooking job or something like that. Maybe we'll be able to move her into that later. She is a peasant. You can see that here's her potential. She is pretty good as a lumberjack, which is good. That's where she's going to start. She would also be good as a lady of the evening, which maybe that'll happen later. She'd also be a good mason. She has her main stats here, which I don't even know what they all mean really yet. Very athletic. That's good. Her athleticism will help her cut wood, which will be helpful to us. She's kind of good with nature, and she's a little good with food. That aspiration to cook and feed people, she's got to work on that, I'd say. You can see her highest stat here is this red strength. She's got this red border. She's homeless. Up here we have some more personal information. She's 21 years old. Morale is neutral. She's kind, which is good, but she's also depressed. That's not great. And you can see all these different traits have effects on her life and what might happen to her as we go along here. As a congenital trait, she's not the brightest crayon in the box, as it said. So if she has kids, they may also not be the brightest children in town, but that's okay. Doesn't have a house yet. And here you can see her needs. Right now she just needs wood because we're starting out simple. But as she lives here longer, she'll gain more and more resource needs, which is why we need to keep expanding the village. And we can see how much prestige she's generated, I think. There's a tab here for relationship. There's no one else in the village yet, but you could see, you know, is she married? Does she have kids? Does she have friends? We can see that here, the things she likes and dislikes. That'll come up shortly when we start dating people. And then we have the inheritance page, which shows, you know, her family once we get there. And all this information is generated for every villager we get, which I think is kind of cool. And it all determines how they relate with each other and interact. And so, you know, I can't possibly memorize all this stuff about everyone in the village, but it's fun to see them, you know, work it out with each other. So anyway, let's get this underway. We're going to start by... Where'd Maggie go? She's down here. What is my mouse doing? It's acting up. Here we go. Maggie, 3 stars in Lumberjack. We're going to make that her job, so she'll start producing wood. Start the timer. Now, when this bar fills up, we'll get some wood out of the Lumberjack's Lodge, and we'll need that to build more buildings and fulfill her needs and all that stuff. She still is homeless and single, so let's take care of that. I guess we won't be able to build a house until we have some wood. But we could get her married, couldn't we? We're gonna go over here to this old fortune-telling woman. I forget what her name is. We're gonna say, let's find a partner for Maggie. We can either look for someone else who lives here in town. Of course, we don't have anyone. Or we can go into the surrounding area, find some stranger to maybe hook her up with. You can pick if you're looking for men or women or both. I'm just going to leave this as mixed. We'll let love find its own way. Let's look in the surroundings. Okay, so we have information about Maggie over here on the left, and then potential suitors here on the right. And I think what you want to do is find someone who shares a lot of the same likes and dislikes. But then you also have to consider, you know, as far as the village goes, is this person a good addition to the village? Or will they be good at a job that we need? That sort of stuff. So first we have Juliet. They both like poetry. Otherwise, they don't have a lot in common. Juliet is funny, so that's good. And she has some good traits. Well-mannered, funny, kind of shy. I don't mind that at all. She would make for a good assassin, which I find interesting. Let's go ahead and set them up on a date. We can spend our hearts to get new suitors, but since we're starting out, let's just go with Juliet. So we know that they both love poetry. Maggie likes kittens in the country. Juliet likes cuddles and flowers. So kind of a, you know, a sweet outdoorsy couple maybe. They hate these things down here at the bottom, which I'll try to remember. Of course, this part is very hard for me because I have a terrible short-term memory. So let's just do our best. We're going to set them up on a date. And basically, we're going to have to make 3 choices to try and make them have a successful date. So, to begin with, Maggie and Juliet are spending time at the inn, emptying a few glasses. Will the warm atmosphere help them break the ice? We can either talk about the importance of big cuddles, or have them duel each other, which some people like. I think these two are going to like cuddles more. That was correct, so we've given them a little bit of love to start with. Now, for each of these questions, I think there's a right and wrong answer, so you kind of have to try and remember their likes and dislikes. Maggie and Juliet are enjoying a boat ride on the lake's tranquil waters. Considering how romantic it is, wouldn't now be the ideal time to go for it? We could recite a poem or talk about the sufferings of war. I think they would both like a poem better. That was correct. And the last part of the date. They're both enjoying the pale moonlight. This unique moment allows them to get to know each other better. We can make fun of people more interested in their outfits, or sitting on a cushion to meditate. Did these people not have something more useful to do? Do we want to come down on people who like fashion or people who meditate? I kind of feel like I saw one of them disliked meditation or divination or something like that. Let's try that. Oh, that was right. Perfect. So we had a great date. It's a match. Even if you have a terrible date, if you get all of them wrong, they still get matched up, but they won't be very much in love. Luckily, we did pretty well, and they are very much in love. They're going to generate more hearts. They're going to generate prestige for us, and they have an increased chance of having a baby or adopting a baby. So now we can decide, do we want them to get married or not? And I would say yes. Let's do it. So now we've added Juliet to the village. And I'm still waiting on some wood to come in so that we can build them a house. They don't have to sleep outside. There we go. All right, we're going to build a house. And then we will throw them in there. And now they can start having a relationship. There's always a chance that they might have a kid. But we'll see when that comes up. So as time passes here, over on this left side in the household, it'll fill out different things that happen to them. It'll be like, oh, they spent, a great day together. Here we go. They're singing their favorite song together. Their relationship goes up. Or maybe they'll have a fight and it'll go down, that sort of thing. We can spend hearts to have a gift between them and other things, but you can just kind of watch what happens to them as their relationship gets better or not, depending on how compatible they are. Now we have an event which pops up every once in a while. While having a romantic walk, Juliet and Maggie noticed a cat sheltering beneath a porch with a litter of newborn kittens. Maggie looked Juliet straight in the eye. Her reaction to those little cuties would be crucial. So we can either say, so adorable, something will happen, or we can run away. Okay, I think these two like kittens. So let's go more positive. Although Juliet seemed to find the kittens very cute, she didn't seem as thrilled as Maggie. Seeing Maggie sitting on the ground in the street, Juliet wondered how many more animals Maggie would adopt. So much love. So their affection went up, but they're both embarrassed now. That's fine. Just one little event to get us started. All right, I got time speeding up. While we wait for more wood to come in. We have Juliet here, but she doesn't have a job. We don't have any other jobs for her to have. We have gold, which we can spend on upgrading our buildings. And then the hearts flow in from our relationships, and we can use that for some more, finding new suitors and taking relationship-type actions. Down here in the corner, bottom right corner, we'll get major announcements. And I thought this system was kind of cool because it pops up things as they have. You can see how their relationship is changing. But there's 5 different levels of notifications that you can turn on or off. So right now we just have the high and very high ones. But we can turn on, the yellows, which is talking about, their needs are being satisfied or not. The blue ones, the very low importance, are like, oh, Maggie produced some wood, So if you want to have all the information, you can turn all these on and you'll find everything that happens. But if you want to condense it to just like the most important stuff, you can just leave it like that. And I thought that was kind of cool. I don't think I've seen a game do that before. All right, we have some more wood. Let's build a new building here. Now there are 3 building trees. We got resources and prestige, transformed resources, and various effects. And you have to go from top to bottom. So we've already got the Lumberjack's Lodge. Next we'll have to build the farm. After that we can build the Hunter's Cabin and so on. And it's the same for each section. So let's get the farm, because that's all we can do right now. Take some wood. And that will build the farm for us. And now we can give Juliet something to do, making us vegetables. All right, so we've seen build houses and couples. The last button over here is neighbors. Neighbors has 2 parts. there is recruitment, where we can pay gold to bring new people into the village. And so we can see, you know, what their aspirations are. You know, Odile would be a great teacher. Actually, so would Morris. Actually, they're very similar. They're almost the same person. Are you guys twins or something? That's very unusual. But we can spend gold to get somebody new here. Jack would be a great carpenter or a lumberjack. I'm actually going to pause time. Do I want to get Jack? Since he's a good lumberjack, 'cause we will need a lot of wood. I do want to recruit him. Let's bring him in. The time almost reset. I didn't want to lose him. The other tab here in Neighbors is the bartering with Ernesto and company, where we can get more gold by selling resources if we have a bunch laying around. I guess we would have more offers if we build the market, but I haven't gotten that far yet. All right, I'll start time up here again. So we have Jack. He doesn't have anywhere to live yet, so let's get him a house. And then we'll set him up with somebody. That's just how things roll in this village. Let's go to couples. Put Jack on the spot here and find him a soulmate. All right, so I'm going to use hearts to find a suitor with several matches. Like you can see, a relationship with Brienne would not be good. They have bad affinity. They disagree fundamentally on these things. Oh, Tristan, even worse. I'm looking for those blues. I'd like more than one if possible. Just a lot of people don't get... Wow, people really don't get along with Jack. I've never had someone so hard to find a match for. Oh, here we go. Andrian. Look at that. 4 matches? That's like the most I've ever seen. They're perfect for each other. Now, Andrian is mean, which is not great, but he's also robust. He's going to live a long time. That could be useful. They're a perfect match. Okay, so they both love fashion and war. They hate cuddles and music. So they're kind of like... I'm seeing them as like kind of snooty. A snooty couple. They love war. They don't really like, you know, the softer things. All right, let's take them on a date, see how it goes. Do they want to talk about good food or the benefits of meditation? I think... Food? Wrong. I was wrong. I did not remember how they felt about that. Let's see here. Talk about the importance of cuddles. They don't like cuddles, right? They do. Wow, what is wrong with me? I thought I had them nailed down, and I'm just totally butchering it. Honor to be had on the battlefield. They like war, right? Give me at least one. Okay. Not a great start for these two, but they're so alike that I feel like they'll do just fine. All right, so they're living together. You can see that our families are organized here. We will need some more buildings to get some more jobs. Here we go. Hunter's Cabin. Excuse me? Juliet is in love with Andrian? That's not good. She's already married. What should we do? Juliet decided to make use of her musical skills to compose a perfect melody and seduce Andrian. Should she play it loud and clear on the church bells or more quietly? Okay. If she does the bells, all villagers gain morale. She gets better at stage performance, and Andrian is charmed. If it's a more private thing, they go into a romantic relationship. Ugh, boy, I don't know. Will that cause problems? I don't know. I guess if we can't stop her from doing it, it seems like this has more benefits for us. So let's play it on the bells. using an ingenious system with ropes tied to each bell's clapper. Juliet played powerful and cheerful music throughout Lakeburg. The village now openly talks about Juliet and her talent. And of course, Endrian is under the charm as well. Okay, well, that's just how things go in Lakeburg. We got the hunter's cabin. Endrian is pretty good at that, so let's start getting that leather. We got new neighbors. Now the other thing we can do, if we look here at the Lumberjack's Lodge, we don't have to just have one person making wood. We can actually open up more working slots. So if we can get up to 40 wood, I could have a second person chopping wood, which would be a great help because we're going to need a lot of wood. Maggie and Juliet just had a baby. Aurora. A Rory McDonald. Now that baby will slowly grow up and then join the village proper. All right, we have a notification that Juliet met her own baby. That's good. That's good, I guess. They have an insignificant relationship. Well, you know, Juliet did fall in love with somebody else who just moved to town, so that's kind of unusual, but all right. We now have enough wood heading into the lodge. I can open up this slot, and we can throw Jack in there, and we'll start getting some extra wood. You can also see on the right side here, we can spend that gold to make this building better. So we could, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. So instead of making 10 wood per bar, they'll both make 22 and 23. Nice. Very useful. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a little break here. I went through the basic explanation of everything in the game, and a lot has already happened, but we've got so much time left. It's only year 4. We've got a long ways to go. Lots more villagers to recruit and set up and have terrible dates because I can't remember what they like or dislike. But it's going to be a fun time. If you like what you're seeing already, head over to Steam and add Lakeburg Legacies to your wishlist or pick it up. It comes out tomorrow. Thanks again to Player 2 for sending me this key so we can play. And make sure you come back next time because even more village action and family drama is going to go down. Will Juliet cheat on her wife? Will she have a better relationship with her daughter? What new characters might we add next time? I have no idea. We'll find out. I'll see you guys then.